Do you want to know the best bid strategy to generate leads in 2024? Well, stick around. In this video, I'm going to detail exactly which bid strategy you should be using to generate high quality, low cost leads for your business. In Google Ads, there are 4 main bid strategy types if you're trying to generate leads or conversions. Those would be maximize conversions, target CPA, target ROAS, and maximize ROAS. Now, when you are going to approach the question of which bid strategy you should be using, the first step is to identify what conversions are you going to be optimizing for in the first place. My recommendation is to stick with one stage in your funnel. So it can be any area in your funnel if you have a multi-step funnel, but you just want to stick to one. You don't want to duplicate those stages and overcomplicate things for Google. So ideally, you're going to pick a conversion action that's deep in your funnel that signifies the highest quality lead that you can track. And this could be a sale if you're going to be optimizing for sales. Now, when you're choosing which conversion to optimize your campaigns off of, even though it's one stage in the funnel, there are a few things to keep in mind in terms of requirements. Now, because you're using Google's AI and machine learning with these bid strategies, you have to give them enough data on a daily basis and a monthly basis in order to make smart decisions on your behalf. So what are those limits? What are those qualifications? Now, you want to be sure you're choosing a conversion action where you have at least 30 conversions a month. And that can be account-wide, but Google needs to track and record 30 conversions every single month to have enough data to optimize and to utilize their algorithms with. Now, as time goes on, and even probably today, Google can use less than that, maybe 15 conversion actions per month. But let's stick with 30. That's the best practice, and it's going to give your bidding algorithms enough data to make really good decisions for you. Another deciding factor when choosing a bid strategy is what is your daily budget. Now, a campaign has a daily budget that's associated with it, and you can use a portfolio so you can stretch those across all of your campaigns. But what you're trying to allow the algorithms to do is achieve at least a 2x budget what your average cost per conversion is. So ideally, generating at least 2 conversion actions per day for that campaign or that campaign grouping to optimize off of. The ideal scenario is to have a 10x budget. So if your average cost per conversion is $100, ideally your campaign daily budget would be $1,000 a day. At a minimum, however, you would want a 2x that cost per acquisition average. So if your average cost per conversion is $100, at a minimum, you would have it set to $200. Now, if you don't have that available budget to allocate to your campaign, what should you do? Well, the best thing to do is to track a conversion action that's a little bit higher up in your funnel. So it's not as qualified as a lead. Maybe it's your lead magnet opt-in on the first stage is we'll have to be tracking off of. But giving Google that data is essential for optimizing off of it when you're going to be choosing and utilizing their bidding strategies. So to recap, we need at least 30 conversion actions, ideally account-wide for what you're going to be optimizing for. And ideally, you're going to have a 10x daily budget times your average cost per conversion and no less than 2x. So now you have the minimums in place, but you're asking, what bid strategy should I use for generating leads? The answer to that question is, it depends. So now if you have dynamic values for your leads and you can associate values based on the quality of those conversions, then you are golden. And in that scenario, you're going to want to use Target ROAS. Target ROAS is going to tell Google to optimize your return on ad spend for every conversion that it's generating. And it's going to allow you the ability to dial that up or down as business needs change. So if you want to improve the quality of your leads, you're going to want to ask Google to go after a higher target ROAS when optimizing the campaigns. If you want to dial up the volume, maybe sacrifice quality a little bit to get more leads, then you can dial that number down. But what you want to do is you want to wait and set a baseline for what your average ROAS is. Put that in as a target for Google, and then you can up and down as needed. Now, what if you don't have dynamic values associated to your conversions? Most likely you're going to be in that boat. Well, my recommendation for your bid strategy is to be target CPA. Target CPA is going to give Google strict guidelines on what to go after in terms of performance for your campaigns, and it's going to allow you the ability to dial that up or down as needed. You can dial it down if you want to lower your cost per lead. You can dial it up if you want to pay more for higher quality leads. But Target CPA is going to go after the most high quality traffic that it can while achieving your cost per acquisition target and falling very closely in between that number. Sometimes you'll even see that it overachieves it, which is great. And so when you're utilizing Target CPA, one thing to keep in mind is if your Target CPA is too hard for Google to hit, it's going to dial down your traffic. It's not going to keep serving your campaigns if it can't hit the target that you give it. So it'll probably try for about 2 or 4 weeks, but if it's just too hard to achieve, your traffic's going to die off and you're going to have to start all over again. So again, you want to set that baseline, allow the campaign to achieve an average cost per conversion, and then set that as your target CPA. How do you do that? Well, I like to initiate campaigns that maximize conversions as a bid strategy, allow it to accumulate some data over 2 or 3 weeks, see what my average is, and then plug that in as my cost per conversion and then optimize it off of there. So I hope that information is helpful for you. I hope you're generating tons and tons of leads this year. And if you have any questions or comments, please add them below, and I will see you on the next video.